Good morning. So I'm starting a 21-day practice of making videos about things that are really matter in yoga. And so I requested that you submit to me your questions, and you guys did, and I really appreciate that. It gives me an idea of the things you're curious about. But the one thing that I noticed that everyone seems to be suffering from is stress, anxiety, worry, constant busyness, and essentially life is wasting in these states of anxiety, and they're not real. Yeah, but me telling you that, saying it's not real, doesn't necessarily help you, because it just becomes like another thought. Oh, on top of all of this stress and busyness I have, it's not really real. That stresses me out even more. And so we kind of need a bit of a method to begin to create some separation between ourselves and this stressed out inclination. So first off, let's understand how stress is occurring for most people. Yeah, it's not that we're being chased by a lion or there's a real danger of dying. This is not what's happening for most of us. Okay, most of us, the stress is, I'm not sure if my boss likes me, or what kind of drama is happening at work, or, oh, this guy or girl I was dating, why don't they text me back? And, I'm not very good at my, current job. I'm trying to learn to be better, and I feel like I'm not smart enough, and, because I'm not smart enough, I can't get the house I want, and the boyfriend I want, and I want, and I want, and I want, and I don't want this, and I do want that, and I want this, and I don't want that. And you know what? The truth is that whole life is being wasted, like appealing to things that we want. Like, oh, I really want to have this happen. But you know what? The moment that you get that thing you wanted, you finally get the job you wanted, you get the boyfriend or girlfriend you wanted, you get the shirt you wanted, how long does the joy of it last? If we're being honest, then we'll say it doesn't last very long. Okay, it's very, very temporal and fleeting. But what do? We start pursuing the next I want. And whether the thing you want is a bagel for breakfast, or a promotion at work, or a new car, or more money, or more travel, it's still temporal. And what we do then is, because action is limited, so you go through your day, and certain things that you want, they're gonna work out. You'll be temporarily happy, but then if you just wait a little bit, something that you don't want, something you don't want to have happen, will happen. Okay. Now what do? Now we start to get all upset. Yeah, we start creating these kind of internal storms. In yoga, we call these the vrittis. So we're disturbing the state of our consciousness by creating resistance to what's happening. And we have misunderstood that our action is limited. You can only do so much. But internally, the way that we are in our being, this you can for sure control, this you can for sure direct. So we begin to create just a little bit of space between our self, okay, the vast presence of your consciousness, and the personality, the likes, the wants, the don't wants. Start to create just a little bit of space. And within that space already, there's so much that can be done. So for instance, if you're having a lot of anxiety, take that anxiety and just set it like a little bit in front of you, like as if you're watching a holographic image. And then you'll see that anxiety will have secondary parts. Like, it's not just I feel anxious, it's I feel anxious because this, and then if that happens, and then this thing, and so it'll kind of keep going. And you just keep doing this process of taking that anxiety and setting it out in front of you so that you can look at it. Okay, oh, I'm feeling anxious because I'm worried about speaking in front of my peers, I'm worried about sending this email wrong. You just take the anxiety and set it outside of yourself, okay? And then once it's outside of you, let it fall like a leaf into a moving river. Just let it fall. Just drop the anxiety. And then if it comes again, do the exact same thing. Let it fall like a beautiful leaf, a red leaf, a gold leaf, a brown leaf. See that anxiety, that worry dropping into the river and being carried away, because it's no more real than anything else. And we have a habit in the West of needing to be stressed out and anxious and busy all the time. But your life is passing. And your life is passing so quickly in pursuit of temporal things that don't really bring you that much pleasure. So we want to begin to develop the ability to kind of press the joy button instead of the stress button. Just allowing any anxieties that arise to fall into that moving river like leaves from a tree. And then inside of you, begin to cultivate a feeling of pleasantness, like an internal state of pleasantness that's like a sun permeating the solar system of your internal space. So yeah, emotions arise and you notice them. Anxieties arise, you notice them. Fears arise, you notice them. And as you notice them, you let them fall away. And then this vast expanse of your internal landscape begins to become permeated by an internal sun of pleasantness, joy, maybe ecstasy. Sometimes it'll turn into that. And so anything that's arising begins to arise in the light of this pleasantness of life. Because really, you can't stop challenging things from arising in your life. But you can begin to cultivate the ability to be prepared to handle them. Yeah? That doesn't mean that you'll always be successful and everything will always go the way you want. In fact, most of the time it's not gonna. Yeah? And the better you get at managing the external reality by becoming inwardly calm, is the more and more you'll want to create more complex, more intricate designs. Yeah? And then when failure arises, when difficulties arise, inside you won't be difficult. But that's the issue, is that we have developed this habit of anxiety and stress. So just right now, begin to drop the pattern like leaves falling into a river. And whenever you notice the anxious tension, develop the habit of just picking it up, seeing it, and then dropping it. And then inside, come back to that distilled piece of sky that we could call the sun of pleasantness. It begins to permeate every atom of your being. And so what's happening with this kind of meditation is that we're removing our attention from these distorted and imbalanced patterns, and we're beginning to reshape our internal landscape. And at first this doesn't seem super logical, but it's really a method to begin to dislodge a habit of suffering, and suffering because of things that are not real. All of these stresses in your mind, these apparitions, these ghosts that you create of I want, I don't want, that are attached to the heaviness of your personality that you're constantly trying to maintain, it's not real. I mean, yes, it's existing, but it's changing. Just like clouds in the sky, you have this stormy weather of stress and busyness and anxiety in your mind field. And by tapping into the sun, touching the sun, remembering this internal solar pleasantness, begins to, bit by bit, burn away that weather. So you don't have to believe me. I implore you not to believe me, but try what I'm saying. Whenever you start to feel the anxiety, the tension, just go through this meditation. Just develop a habit of this instead of following your worries, follow your practice. And let me know if it works. All right. So this is the first installment of our 21-day talking about what I love in yoga. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.